So I first want to start by making the Pfsense virtual machine. And I'm going to make it bridged, and I'm also going to add another network adapter, which is configured to VMnet 11. Okay, now that I'm in the install menu, I'm just going to go through with the default on everything. And when I get here, I'm clicking space, and then deleting the contents. And I'll be back once the install is complete. Okay, now that I'm in, I can go and open up the shell, and I'm gonna disable the firewall. Oops. Okay. Now that that's done, I can use this IP to find to get to the website, and I'll be back once I get on there. Okay. Now in here. Okay. Now with the IP, and gonna log in with admin Pfsense. And I'm gonna go through the setup. So primary DNS and secondary DNS is gonna be 8.8.8 and then 1.1.1. This is going to be GMT minus 8. Okay. And DHCP, everything's good. I'm gonna uncheck these two. Block RFC, 1918 private networks, and block Bogon networks. Okay. And then the LAN IP address is going to be 172.34.70.1, which is the start. And we're gonna use subnet mask /27 because we need 15 or 17 IPs actually, and using the subnet mask of I believe 26 is gonna be 16 IPs. So in order to fit the 17 IPs, we need to use 27 /27 for 32. And I'm just gonna put in password using password01. Okay. Okay, so once I'm in here, I want to get rid of the need to disable the firewall, so I'm going to go to firewall rules. I'll be back once this is working. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I want to go to firewall rules and go down here to add Scroll down to destination, and I just want to add HTTP 443 to any. Do that, apply changes, and now I shouldn't have to deal with undoing the firewall. Okay, I'm also gonna go to services, DHCP server. Okay, and then in here, I want to change the address pool range from 10 to 14. Because these are the usable IPs that we want to use. And go down here and apply changes. Okay. After doing those steps in the browser, I'm going to exit the routes, and now I'm gonna set the IP addresses. So we're gonna want to configure the LAN IP. So we're gonna hit 2, and we do not want to configure the DHCP or configure the LAN via DHCP. Okay, and the new IP, like we put in Pfsense, beginning of the okay, and then subnet, like I already explained, because we need 17 and /27 allows for 32. Okay, and for this we're just gonna pass this. We don't want to configure the IPv6. Skip through that, and we do want to enable the DHCP server on LAN. Okay, then start of the range 172.34.70.2, and the end of the range we're going to want to add 15. So 172.34.70.17. And we do not want to enable this. Okay, and now that that's all configured, our LAN IP is now 172.34.70.1. I am going to begin configuring the Windows server. So okay. Putting 40 gigs. And I am setting it, the network adapter, to VMnet 11. Okay, and that should be it. Okay, and I usually do this because my Windows server doesn't work if I don't do it this way. And I'll be back once I get the ISO. Okay, now that's in, power it on again. Perfect. And I'm gonna select the data center evaluation. And I will be back once it's all installed. Okay, since this is almost done, I'm gonna start with the Windows 10 VM. Okay. Okay. Windows 10. And okay. Oops. Gonna give it 40 gigs. And also gonna be gonna be connected to the VM.11 network. Okay. And I'll be back once both of these are done. Once in here, we're gonna put password 01 for both to keep it consistent. Okay. Once here for Windows. And I'll be back. Okay. Now on the server. Okay. We're gonna go to add roles and features. Default on all of these. We're gonna add Active Directory domain services. Skip through all these and gonna hit restart if required. And I'll be back. Okay. Now that this is done, can hit close. We go up here and promote the server domain controller. Add a new forest. Name it CIS3470.com. This is all good. Put in a password. Password 01. Skip through all this, and this should be automatically filled in. Okay. Everything looks good. since all prerequisites passed, I don't need to go into the tools, or what's it called? I believe it's, yes. And then, oops. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, yeah. So, local users and groups, then users, administrator, click right, set password, but I didn't need to do it. Okay. So now that that's all good, we hit install, and I'll be back once it's done. Okay. In Windows 10. Just putting in password 01. Just getting past these. Okay. Okay. Once in here, I'm gonna rename this PC. I'm gonna call it Windows 10. And it's gonna ask to restart. Okay. Once back on the server, after restarting, I now have the domain. Putting in the password, password 01, and I have access to the domain. Okay, so first in here, before I forget, actually first, let me change the name. Okay, and I'm gonna let this restart. Okay. Now that both of them are open, oops. One second while I get this working. Okay. So, once you log in, and there we go. Okay. So, next, I want to configure the DNS. Okay. And I'm inputting 8.8.8.8 and 1.1.1.1. Okay. Once that's done, okay. And I'm also gonna go here to change adaptive properties. And over here, properties, I'm gonna change this IP and I'm gonna have it use the following IP, which is 172.34, oops, 70.2. Okay, make this 255 and then 224. And then for the default gateway, 172.34, 70, and 0.1. Okay, can exit out of that. Now in Pfsense. So, okay. We're gonna go DHCP leases. And in here, we could see, okay. So, 1 second. So I want to go into, okay. 1 second, I'll be back. Okay. Once we're restarting, okay. These are the correct IPs, so okay. Once back in the server, I went and released and renewed the IP config for this, and this should be good. Okay, so refreshing the list here. We have the Windows 10. And 1 second, let me get both of them working. Okay, so yeah, the issue was I was inputting the IP address into here before I configured it in Pfsense. Okay, releasing and renewing it. It should show up in Pfsense now. Perfect. Now we have both Windows Server and Windows 10. And now I'm going to add a static mapping and the IP address 172.34.70.2, and I do not want to touch anything else. One second. Just really quickly, I changed this from 70.2 to 70.3. Yes, it was a mistake. Okay. Now back to DHP server. Oops. DHP leases. Okay. And in here, make the IP address 172.34. Okay. Making this 0.2. Saving and applying the changes. Okay. One second. Now let me I'm going to change this. Oops. And default gateway of 0.1. Okay, now our IP is coming up correctly. Go back into Pfsense. And perfect. We got both of them. Okay. Now, going back to the Windows 10. In here, we're gonna go to, or actually, we're gonna go to this PC, properties, and then once in here, Advanced System Settings, computer name, change ID, and then in domain, we're gonna make it CIS 3470. Hit OK. See, that's worked. Then CIS 3470 /administrator password 01. And if everything goes well, it should say welcome to the domain. Okay, try it again. One second. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay. I am going to change the DNS server that we tell the Windows 10 machine to use. So here, properties, IPv4, and then we're going to tell it to use the server's DNS. Okay. Okay. So basically I just restarted the Windows server and inputted the DNS for the Windows 10 and it's working again. Perfect. And now I'm a member of the domain. And I'm gonna restart the computer and I'll be back once it restarts. Okay. Now I'm gonna go here, CIS 3470 / administrator, and then password 01. Oops. Perfect. And I'll be back once this finishes. Okay, now that I'm in, see I'm connected to the internet, 3470.com. CMD on the correct IP. And okay. And now going into cheese.com. We see that I connect, no problem. And same thing with the Windows server. Connected. Oops. IP config, correct IP. And logs into cheese.com with no issue. Okay. And that concludes my project. Thank you and bye. One more thing I forgot to add. If you go to computer management, if you go to use active directory for users and computers, see 3470 right here, click on computers, and we can see Windows 10 is a member of the domain.